The owner of the company is the one that deserves most of the profit that the company creates because the owner is the one that took all the risk. What risk did the workers take? Good question. What risk do workers take? All right, so let's start with manual labor jobs like construction workers, factory workers, electricians, farmers. What kind of risks are they taking when they go to work every single day? Well, they risk falling from heights. They risk being in an accident while operating heavy machinery. They risk being exposed to harmful chemicals like asbestos or poisons like pesticides, right? These are all risks that they take day in, day out. And that's not to mention the risks that are associated from doing this backbreaking work day in, day out, year after year, where you can develop chronic conditions and chronic pain, like back pain or joint pain or hearing issues from all the loud machinery that you're exposed to day in, day out, right? So your body just has a ton of different physical ailments you can develop from this backbreaking work. Okay, well, that's hard manual labor jobs and they get paid pretty well. What about the low skilled jobs like retail jobs or fast food workers? What kind of risks are they taking? Well, if they have to get into a car to drive to work, they risk getting into a car accident and dying every single day. How many workers have died just going to and from work every single day? But even at the job site itself, they have risks associated with their job. They risk being verbally abused by customers every single day. And they also have their own physical problems that they can develop from standing all day or stress-related injuries from doing the same same monotonous task every single day. And not only that, but there are mental risks associated with doing the same boring, monotonous task day in, day out. Is it easy to flip burgers? Absolutely. Most people can flip a burger, right? But imagine flipping a burger 8+ hours a day, 5 days a week for decades, right? That's going to take a toll on your psyche and can lead to things like depression or anxiety because humans aren't meant to do the same boring thing all day, every day. And even office workers have their own risks associated with their job, even though they're not doing physical labor, right? They also risk developing things like depression from lack of vitamin D from being in a cubicle all day, or lack of being surrounded by a community and having to sit at a computer screen all day, where you can also develop things like eye strain or carpal tunnel or back problems from sitting at that computer all day. So even office workers have their own associated risks as well. And that's not even mentioning the indirect risks associated with taking a poverty wage job because you can't find a higher wage job, right? When you're living in poverty, you can't afford high quality food. You have to resort to cheap processed food, which leads to health problems down the road. Or you can't afford to live in a safe neighborhood with well-funded public schools, and you have to resort to a neighborhood that has high crime rates and underfunded schools, so your kids can't get a proper education. So just living in poverty has more risks associated with it than if you are financially stable. So there you go. No matter what your job is, if you're a member of the working class, you have a boatload of physical and mental risks that are associated with doing that job. And let's go back to the risk that the owner takes. The risk that an owner takes is that their business fails and they lose the money they invested into it, and they have to go back to being a member of the working class, just like us.